A court has now reportedly placed restrictions on Erika Kirk, barring her from using Charlie Kirk's name in any legal or public matters, at least until she can clearly establish her true identity. This development comes amid growing questions about her past, questions that intensified after Candace Owens released new receipts.
They think he's a spy. How did you rumble this meeting?
Allegedly tied to Erika's identity and long-standing connections. With each new disclosure, the picture surrounding Erika appears increasingly unclear.
Baby in a house when you were 13 years old and we can't find you? By the way, where's the baby buried?
Raising one critical question. Why does her background remain so complicated and difficult to verify?
If you just look over here at the columns, these 4 themes that I'm identifying, and I'm going to add more: Liberty University, Eastern Europe, trafficking and child abuse, and then in that final column, military. These are just themes that I recognize keep coming.
The scrutiny is especially significant given how extensively Erika has been using Charlie Kirk's name. From selling books to collecting donations.
Turning Point USA, since Charlie was killed, just so you guys know, this is a fact, has made more than $100 million. That is separate from the $40 million they made at Mar-a-Lago the other night.
She has positioned herself as the central figure, acting on Charlie's behalf at nearly every turn.
We have the most amazing Turning Point USA family. They've rallied around myself, my children, and, chosen family is everything. And then, of course, we're blessed with our family itself.
Critics argue that if her identity and past are not fully transparent, leveraging his name and legacy in this way is deeply unfair, particularly to supporters who believe they are honoring Charlie's memory in good faith. Now, attention is shifting squarely to Candace Owens' newly revealed receipts and what they allegedly expose about Erika Kirk's identity. As these claims continue to surface, the situation is evolving rapidly, and the demand for clarity has never been louder. What follows could reshape everything people thought they knew about Erika Kirk and her role in Charlie Kirk's legacy.
Erika Kirk, born Erika Francevy, won Miss USA pageant November 2011 on her 23rd birthday, which qualified her to represent Arizona in the 2012 Miss USA national competition at the time.
Every Saturday, so he would turn his phone off to honor the Sabbath. He would come in, open the junk drawer. Everyone has a junk drawer. Open the junk drawer, said Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom.
You saw that the girl in the ponytail matches the description of Erika Kirk. What percentage would you put that?
Those are really rare eyes. That's 95 to 99%.
They call it a theory, a conspiracy, a wild claim thrown into the void by someone looking for attention. But what if it wasn't? A military whistleblower has come forward with a statement that stops you cold. He says with 95 to 99% certainty that Erika Kirk is a military plant, not an influencer who stumbled into tragedy, not a grieving widow caught in the wrong place at the wrong time. A plant, someone with ties to secret military operations that allegedly involved high-ranking members of Turning Point USA. If true, this reignites something far darker. The suspicion Candace Owens has raised from the beginning, that Charlie's assassination wasn't random, that it was planned. And suddenly, the idea of Erika being a honeypot doesn't sound so far-fetched anymore. The question isn't whether this is possible. The question is, who has Erika really been working for?
And they begin what becomes a 7-hour interrogation. Okay? They think he's a spy. How did you rumble this meeting? How did you know this meeting was taking place? He's being asked a bunch of questions. They're putting pressure on him.
This didn't start with a viral video. It didn't start with an anonymous tip on social media. It started quietly, privately, the way real information moves when someone has something to lose. A military whistleblower reached out to Candace Owens directly, not to make noise, not to gain followers, to warn her. He believed what he had witnessed would fundamentally change how Erika's role in all of this was understood. And the fact that he wasn't seeking attention, that raised more red flags than if he had been. Candace didn't jump. She didn't rush to publish. She did something most people wouldn't have the patience or discipline to do. She vetted him. She verified his background, his service history, his credibility. She made sure this wasn't another dead end. And once she was convinced he was legitimate, she made a choice, a risky one. She gave him a platform, despite the personal cost, despite the financial consequences, despite knowing what it would mean to go public with something this explosive. When he finally spoke, the entire narrative shifted. The whistleblower had traveled to Fort Huachuca. He had unresolved service matters to attend to, routine, or so he thought. But the moment he arrived, something felt wrong. The atmosphere was tense. Conversations stopped when he walked past. People looked at him differently. He realized quickly that he had walked into something he wasn't supposed to see.
He was joined, and joined by a female that you can definitely tell when, how do you put it, when people are well off and they're dressing down. She was definitely dressing down, and it was very well kept. The one thing I noticed about the woman that really stuck out to me was her eyes.
A high-level meeting was underway, and the attendees, senior military officials, congressmen, other powerful stakeholders whose names don't appear in press releases. High-level military meetings aren't unusual. That's not what made this one different. What stood out was who was present. Some of the faces meant nothing to him at the time, just people in a room. But after Charlie's assassination, those faces took on new significance. Faces he would later recognize. Faces that would later matter. He only understood the gravity of what he'd seen in hindsight. Candace Owens had been questioning the official narrative for months, long before this whistleblower came forward. She had doubts, instincts, things that didn't add up. And when he revealed who he saw at that meeting, those doubts stopped being abstract. They gained clarity. They gained weight. The whistleblower identified someone in that room, someone who had no reason to be there, someone whose presence made the entire situation collapse to something far more sinister. Erika Kirk. He stated it with 95 to 99% certainty. He emphasized it. He was sure. It was definitely her. And just like that, everything escalated.
So
You had to put it at a percentage that you saw that the girl in the ponytail matches the description of Erika Kirk. What percentage would you put that at?
those are really rare eyes. That's 95 to 99%. I can't imagine somebody else.
Because Erika Kirk was not supposed to be anywhere near a secured military meeting. She wasn't military. She wasn't government. Publicly, she was a housewife, an influencer, someone who posted about her life online and happened to be married to a rising conservative figure. And yet, the day before Charlie's assassination, she was there. The obvious question emerges, and it's the only one that matters. Why was she there at all? People started going back, revisiting everything they thought they knew about Erika Kirk, her background, her rise, the narrative she had carefully cultivated, and what they found didn't match the story. Her rise didn't come from random influencer circles. It didn't come from luck or timing or being in the right place. Her parents had ties to the FBI, to Homeland Security. She didn't grow up adjacent to power, she grew up inside it. This wasn't a woman who stumbled into the spotlight. This was someone who had been in the orbit all along. Her connections began to surface. Political circles, security circles, people with no digital footprints, people whose names don't show up in searches, the kind of people you don't meet by accident. It fueled a belief that her rise was calculated, not organic, not accidental, deliberate. And then people started re-examining her relationship with Charlie, the protection she received after his death, the way information around her seemed to evaporate, the way certain questions were never answered. But it gets worse. The whistleblower revealed that Erika wasn't alone at that meeting. She was accompanied by someone who should have made alarm bells scream the moment his name was mentioned. Brian Harpole, Charlie's head of security.
The head of security there, he was one of the people walking out with the congressman. Now, how would I know that? I just have a gift for recognizing people.
After Charlie's death, Harpole went public quickly. He blamed the Utah Valley Police. He pointed to security failures. He accepted no personal responsibility for what happened. And on the surface, that might have been believable, except it wasn't. Charlie trusted his inner circle deeply. His security team wasn't random. They were vetted, they were loyal. And if there were real threats, if Harpole truly believed something was wrong, he had options. He could have delayed the event. He could have changed the venue. He He could have pulled Charlie from the stage. He could have warned Charlie directly. None of those actions were taken. Charlie walked out onto that stage, into a compromised environment, and when it was over, the responsibility seemed to end abruptly. The blame shifted elsewhere. But if Harpole attended a military meeting with Erika Kirk the day before Charlie was killed, his outrage afterward doesn't look like accountability. It looks like damage control. So the questions become unavoidable. What was discussed in that room? Why was Charlie's head of security there? And what role was Erika playing while Charlie was heading toward his final speech? Erika claimed that she found out Charlie was dead from a phone call. Mikey McCoy, she said, called her minutes after the shooting. That's how she knew. But the timeline doesn't work. Authorities hadn't confirmed the shooting yet. Charlie wasn't pronounced dead until much later. So how did she know? How did Mikey know? And why would he call her first? The timeline raised serious doubts. Doubts that never went away. Attention turned to Erika's personal history. People started digging, and what they found was absence. Verified information about her family is scarce. After her mother, records disappear. Her father has no confirmed photos, no digital trail, nothing. This wasn't the result of privacy. This was the result of deliberate erasure. The whistleblower said that when military personnel realized what he had seen, they reacted aggressively. He was detained, interrogated for hours, questioned about people he didn't know, people he had never heard of. The response didn't match the situation, unless what he had witnessed was far more serious than a routine meeting.
Yeah, a couple more captains came around the corners and they escorted me way out of it. They wanted to take me out of the building. I thought I was getting arrested, and I didn't know what I had done wrong.
At the time, he didn't understand their panic. He didn't know why they cared so much about what he'd seen. But after Charlie's death, it made sense. The meeting was not routine. Erika's presence was not accidental, and the fact that he had seen her there the day before Charlie was killed was not something they could afford to let spread. Everything clicked. In the aftermath, information was locked down. Timelines became blurred. Faces vanished from the internet. Records disappeared. And through it all, Erika remained protected. Others around her grew silent. Questions were deflected. Narratives were controlled. The whistleblower didn't come forward for fame. He didn't come forward for money. He came forward because he believed he saw something he was never meant to see. Something that may have cost Charlie Kirk his life. The question is no longer what Erika knew. The question is whether she was ever telling the truth. Whether anything about her story was real. Whether Charlie ever had a chance. If she was a plant, Charlie was never safe. And whoever approved that meeting, whoever put her in that room the day before he died, is still out there, still watching, still silent.